Here he comes. You won't.
The Glenorchy Magpies and on the football in the northern suburbs. A big game for you. Round 5 of the Southern Football League Premier Division. Old enemies. Glenorchy hosting Clarence, the arch nemesis this afternoon. Differing form lines for both teams. Clarence is in second in the SFL table, 3-1 on the season. The Pies 1-3. Languishing in fifth. They would very, very much like to get the win over their old rivals today and claim the Styles Cooney Cup. My name is Chris Rowbottom, and alongside me for the call this afternoon, bounding up the stairs and into the box, Tubes Taylor. Welcome to you.
Hello, Rowie. Good to be here. Great to have your company from wherever you're watching. Really excited for this game with you, Rowie. I know you're a northern suburbs man by heart.
Through and through.
Live on the eastern shore, of course.
Yes.
So where are you tipping here, Rowie? I know you watch the Southern Football League really closely, and particularly the Premier League.
I think Clarence should win this game if all things are to be considered. They're big in this afternoon. A man by the name of Colin Garland, who's just popped up once again. I think he's had a kick at every football club in Tasmania over the past 6 or 7 seasons. He had a very good year at Clarence a couple of years ago, and he returns back into the fold for another crack at it in season 2025. He'll start deep forward and probably get on the end of a few today. Conversely, for Glenorchy, no Harrison Gunther out there today. So that's a big out, especially with Colin Garland in. So on that basis, I think Clarence should be too strong today. But at KG5 and with tempers running high between these two teams, anything can happen, Tubes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rowie. And I think we've just been up at the Styles Cooney Cup with Brendan Gale, and he was talking very passionately about the importance of local football at this level. And Glenorchy, 2 years ago, were dead and buried.
They were.
So there was 240 people at the function today, and great to see them up there. But debutant today, Jake Beams.
There's a name.
Son of Ben. So he's on debut. There's another young fella out there, 2 15-year-olds for the Glenorchy Magpies. Might even be 3 with Ben Barwick. I think he might be 16 though.
He's a little older, I think, Ben. But Jake Beams, interested to see what he can do. What a player Ben was.
Max Gulliver, the other one to watch. Jason Gulliver's son. So plenty of football happening here at KG5 and right across the south of the state in Hobart Airport SFL.
Ball raised aloft, middle of KG5. Long set to go. Mapley contests the ruck, but Paprotny first after it for Clarence. Feeds it out to Fraser Turner. Bouncing ball, had a little bit of pressure from Finlay. And it'll be an early stoppage. That's right half forward.
Beautiful day for footy, Rowie. Barely any breeze at all.
This is a little bit breezy earlier, but it is completely stopped. And it has presented itself as beautiful conditions for footy at KG5.
How have you seen the SFL so far, Rowie?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, to be honest. I think the crowds are up. I think the vibe is up. And I think the quality of footy's been pretty good too. As Paprotny gets on the move through the middle of KG5, here's Green on the lead, extending, takes the mark. And if he opts to kick for goal, which he won't, he's going to sell some candy. Runs right into trouble, forced to get boots a ball, and it was a good bit of defensive work, and the intercept mark is taken.
Mapley to send it out wide, looking for Baker Smith. He got pushed under the footy, and a nice mark taken by Colin Garland. But the umpire said, no, Tubes, it's Baker Smith's free kick. So he'll take it from left half back and send the ball long up the wing. Not a lot to kick to. In fact, he's absolutely butchered it and hit up Mapley. Mapley is the bloke that I called earlier that didn't have the footy. So apologies there. His kick finds a man in Hanslow who sends the ball long and deep looking for Richmond. He got worked under the footy nicely. Bit of trouble here for the defenders. They just look a bit toey. Out it comes now for Wiley. He goes into a dangerous spot. Big hit by Baxter Norton. Got a fist in. The ball just pops around here in the forward pocket. Wiley again picks up the footy and the umpire will ball it up. Gee, that was hard-hitting stuff from Baxter Norton.
Didn't Luke Nicholson just bounce straight up? Thought he might have been on the deck for a couple of minutes, but pretty tough operator. They contest the ruck. Once again, Richmond feeds out a handball. There's a man on the boundary, but he runs out of tarmac. It's over for a ball in. Protney busy early.
Gee, there's a lot of difference in size to the two rucks, isn't there, with Ewan Dillon, the younger ruck, up against Richmond.
Yeah, he's got some height about him, does Dillon, but he's a string bean ruck. There's no doubt about that. Kick out wide. Here is Beams. Just missed it. Smith puts on a turn, feeds out a handball, but they've turned it over. Here go the Roos. Can't quite bring it under the control. Johnston, and an opportunity goes begging, so another ball in. 2:45 gone. In it comes. Dillon's a contest, but Mapley over the back, only as far as a black and white jumper. He's Turner, his handball picked off Beams, immediately wrapped up as he just adjusts to the pace. Another stoppage.
It'll be interesting to watch him. Certainly not shying away from the contest is Jake Beams. Ruck contest one down into the arms of Thompson, who goes back to a teammate. And the kick is just in hope, really, as the Roos gather it. Harper into the corridor. Again, a kick to grass. They work it out here. Nicely done. Harper. Handball's over the top. Running through. Nicely done. Paprotny goes inside forward 50. Fist came from behind. Bouncing ball. There's a number of roos around the footy. And the Magpies do really well to force a boundary throw-in. Defensive work was brilliant by the Magpies. We'll see a boundary throw-in. Inside forward 50. Dillon and Richmond. Dillon wins it down. Out the back it comes here for Hanslow. He bends one back around the corner. Brilliant as it... No, just too much on it, so behind for Hanslow. First score of the game.
Indeed. So the Glenorchy defence under a little bit of early pressure not to make any serious foray forward. That's Clarence Pepper. Comes out of fullback. Here's Ben Barwick, exciting prospect. Got a teammate riding in the sidecar. Uses him by hand, but the kick is affected. Up the line it goes, and it's chopped off by Harper. So they can't quite get it past halfway in the early part of this game from the Pies.
Some good haircuts out there, that's one of them.
Slick, sharp, very fast haircuts. Kick to right half forward. Here's the other Harper bursting through. What a season he's having. Kick to the top of the square. They'll contest. Richmond best place. Just couldn't quite bring it in. In fact, it was McGann. And it'll go over. Deep in attack for the Roos. Boundary throw in about 5 metres around from the left-hand behind post.
Just a quick out. Harry Richmond is out of the side. Ollie Hill in. So ball in. Inside forward 50. Richmond wins it down. Straight to a man in Paprotny. Round the corner. Brilliant. Almost a set play, and the Roos have their first through Oscar Paprotny. It was a beautiful tap down by Ben Richmond, straight down his throat, through traffic. Brilliant goal.
They have to do something about Paprotny, already causing a little bit of havoc. He's had 3 or 4 disposals and a goal early, so he's enjoying himself in the early part of this game. Clarence draw first blood, 1-1-7. Pies yet to score. Yet to really go forward, really.
Well, they've had some kicks, but they've kicked it to grass and kicked it straight down the throat of Blake Harper, who's just patrolling on the half-back line beautifully.
They've been exceptionally well set up in the early part of this game. So back in the middle we go. Mapley to contest with Dillon. Mapley on it down fairly decisively. Good tackle applied as Cooney struggles to get away. Styles Cooney Cup, of course, today. Gavin Cooney. Gee, he used to run right out here and all around the state, didn't he? In the long sleeves, Gavin Cooney used to terrorise a young Chris Rowbottom. Used to attend these games at KG5. And we're watching his boy go to work. Here's Arnold, Glenorchy stalwart. He was dumped after he kicked it. It'd be a downfield free kick. So a chance here for the Pies.
James Glover a little overzealous with his attack on the coach of Glenorchy, and it'll result in the first inside forward 50 for the Magpies.
So a chance into the pocket. They go. Nice ball for the leading player in Hilda. So tight shot from the boundary if he elects to take it. And from about 45 metres out. This would be a lifter. Fires on goal. As always, missing near side, but Glenorchy register its first score for the afternoon. It's a minor one. Clarence ball from full back.
So the Roos to bring it out. Will come out via Ben McGuinness. New to the club this year. Mapley got the fist from behind, did Dillon. Now at the bottom of the pack. Long sleeves are done there nicely by Daniel Cooney. His old man used to wear the long sleeves too. A high tackle taken, and they'll move the ball on quickly here, the Roos. Short kick. Finds a man in Norton. Touched off the boot. It wasn't Norton at all, it was Glover. Magpies should get a free kick here. And the advantage is taken. Running the ball through is Meredith. Meredith kicks down towards Beams. He just had a little bit too much on it. Read it best. Did Talbot. At the back it comes to Garland. And Harper's kick goes across the face of goal. And the mark is taken in the back pocket by Johnston.
Out beyond defensive 50 goes Johnston. A contest forming on the outer side. Tackle applied by Nicholson. The ball shoots out. Dribble kick towards the boundary. Hilda gives chase. He's taken aground by Johnston, and a stoppage. Right half forward for the Magpies. 8.5 gone. First term. Southern Premier League action. Round 5. Glenorchy need a win. Dillon knocks it down only as far as Norton, who I learn is a Hawks supporter and whose favourite food is curried sausages.
How'd you learn that? Just met up with him at the pub?
Thanks to the footy record, little player profile. Man after my own heart in both respects.
How good were the old pen picks?
Yes. Here is Norton, big fan of the Bridgewater Scallops. Little ball out wide to Will Bush. Fresh up a 3-goal effort last week. Last game, I should say. He goes towards half forward, unable to hit a target. Ties with the numbers. Gulliver just dashing away. Just hung it in the air a little longer than it needed to be. Off hands was Gapin, turning and burning and hitting a target on the outer side. Norton goes again. Inside 50, green direction, leading out. Did enough to hold the mark. He's a long way from home. Probably 2 kicks still. He's going to set it up. Top of the square. Goes Green. A wrestle forms. Nobody able to take the mark. And eventually it's over for a minor score.
Rush behind. Well defended by Glenn. So Clarence 1-2-8. Lead Glenorchy zip 1-1. Short kick is on. Finds Whitford. The arm work here. He's got another short 45 if he wants it in Manson. He decides to go in that direction. Gets it back, does Whitford. Whitford's kick looking for Smith and a push in the back. Garland not happy about it. A little wry smile from the veteran. And Baker Smith, who is wearing a knee brace at the press conference on Wednesday, Rowie. He might have a little bit of a left knee niggle. He said, no, I'm fine. I'll just little niggle tubes. I'll be right. So
a little decoy brace, maybe.
Yeah, decoy brace. Oh, dear. Horrible kick. Chopped off by Bush. Bush kick. Green. That is just an error.
I can't explain that one, Tubes. It's kicked to a one-on-one, 15 metres away, backwards.
So Josh Green will go back. Slight angle. And 50 metres against the ruckman, Ewan Dillon, into the protected area. That's just another error. So this will make 2 goals to the Roos. And this one is a real gimme. Baker Smith owes him one. Green goes on with it too. A little bit of push and shove there.
Well, Josh Green's going to be causing enough headaches in that entire forward 50 region this afternoon. Too many headaches for you to be giving him 3 shots at goal from the top of the square.
Yep.
So
he's so svelte right now. He's looking real good.
He's in terrific nick. He's played a little bit of state footy this year as well, Josh Green, and
had the week off last week too, just to freshen up, if you don't mind.
He did. Missed out on the win the Tassie boys had against Sandringham, which was good to see. But he's back this afternoon in the red and white and already on the scoreboard. 2-2-14. Go the Roos. 13-point buffer over Glenorchy early in this one. Hanslow bursting through, gained possession. But that's what teammate in Proprotny. Now they work it through hands. It was Turner and then Jackman off half-back. Getting to left half forward. Napoli flew, brought it under his spell and then wheeled around and hit up Green again on the half volley. Was tackled as he just tried to feed a teammate on the way past. He was unable to affect anything. Glenorchy hold it up. Bush on the bottom. Have a stoppage. In fact, there might be a
Josh Arnold blood rule
here. Here comes Arnold, holding his right eye.
Yeah, a bit of blood came straight out.
Ooh, that doesn't look good either.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. He's all right. Just a slight cut. So they'll get an opportunity here to move the ball forward. Out the ball pops now for Hanslow. Long kick. Green at the front. Got a fist from behind him. Meredith might have got the free kick for too high. He did. It'll be a free kick again to Josh Green. This one at 20 metres out he'll kick from.
Well, it was always best placed, Green, and there might have been just a little bit of panic from the Glenorchy defender to come in and produce an over-enthusiastic spoil.
In he comes. The little champ from Clarence. Drills it. He's got 2 for the first term. And Clarence shoot out to an early lead. They lead 3-2-20 to zip 1-1.
Yeah, Green the danger man once again. They're going to be using him and spotting him up all afternoon. And as I say, he was best placed in that contest. Glenorchy defence just panicked a little bit, gave away the free kick. Josh Green gets back-to-back goals. Another easy one. So 19 points, the margin. 14 and a half deep into this first term. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Tubes Taylor, Chris Rowbottom, KG5. It goes again, a Richmond into the ruck on this occasion. There's a holding free kick. It'll go against Glenorchy. Not having much luck at the moment.
Jacob Finlay just a little keen there.
So Harper to take it. He's having a really good season. He's Harper, the veteran. He's got a man out wide. Richmond is infringed upon.
I'm not sure how Hilda's not happy with that. Just didn't even have eyes on the field.
One's certainly there. Sets it up to a dangerous position. Nice bit of roving at the fall of the ball out the corner.
It was Ollie Hill.
It was Ollie Hill, the replacement. Stoppage deep in attack for Clarence, looking for a 4th consecutive major. Up it goes. Dylan contests. And through was Gapin. They'll clear the area here via Meredith. Icy sort of a ball. Will come back with a little bit of interest attached, but Glenorchy defence stands tall. They'll be able to reload deep in their defensive 50.
So the Magpies with the ball in the back pocket. Short kick. It's Keegan Wiley, who's having an okay game. Got it up to Smith. Smith's kick is just a kick in hope. Richmond sits under this. Mark's uncontested at half forward. Handball's off to a running Harper. That might have been Jackman, actually, and the kick goes out of bounds on the full. So it'll be Baker Smith to reset. Not a lot to kick to, movement-wise. He certainly didn't kick it backwards this time. Long kick up the wing. Richmond underran the footy. Punched on by Manson. Beams runs onto the footy, gets pushed off the ball by Jackman. And Jackman got pushed off the footy as well. And there was a little magpie out there, and it comes out now for Roberts. Roberts looks up. He hasn't got a lot to kick to as the numbers have pressed up for Glenorchy, so he'll have time here to just settle. Roberts' kick goes long, deep, looking for Beams who flew. Bottom of the pack. Here's a chance now for Nicholson around the corner, bending out on the full. No, touched off the boot. No score. Boundary throwing.
Still in attack here for the Pies. Here it comes. Smith contests on his lonesome. Clarence with the numbers, hands low with a little don't argue, then just tries to pump it out but gets the wrong side of the ball very high, up and under. Glenorchy still alive here, twisting and turning. Shot on goal from Barwick is absolute magic.
Wow.
Well, that is just a little taste, a little glimpse of what this young man can do. He is mercurial. And he finishes with real class to get Glenorchy's first on this occasion.
That burst of pace in the forward line off the contest was elite. And then the finish too. You can have that burn of pace, but if you can't finish, you're not worth much. Well, I can tell you this, Ben Barwick is a beauty.
He's lightning quick.
Didn't he love it too, the little fist punch?
Yeah, he's an excitement machine. He's got genuine X factor, does Ben Barwick. It's good to see it on show early doors here in Glenorchy.
Isaac Manson in the ruck. Goodness me. Heavily undersized here, just needs to compete. Richmond got the fist down, tapped the ball on, sort of attacked the footy. Paprotny goes in, gives the handball off to a running man in Baxter Norton, who sends the ball long and deep. And that's a strong mark at the back of the pack by Jack Males. Males' kick is a good one. It works out okay here to Nicholson. Nicholson's got some time. He looks up, goes toward Beams. Beams took the mark in the end, but the umpire paid the free. So Jake Beams' first kick in senior footy. That is a good win, and that's a good kick too. Oh, through the fingertips of a man who couldn't take the mark in A-Loams. Ball bounces out the back, and they'll clear the ball now, the Roos.
Norton shares it by hand. They've got numbers at half back here, do the Roos. Out they come. It's a good kick to Mapley. He marks the outer wing, outer side. Gets things progressing even quicker. Green the target once more. Defence gets back. Green still in the hunt. Manages to gather off the deck. Got it up to Harper. Foot swung full 360. Got his hands free. They challenge and they go in after it. Might have been legged. McNamara, he was. So Glenorchy just get out of jail and resist the push. Out they come. So some numbers lying up here on the wing, although it's through the hands of Jenkins. They turn it over to the Pies. Another chance here for the Roos. Kick the hands low. Good fist in over the top from McNamara. Goes out of bounds. Ball in at left half forward for Clarence, who lead this one 3-2-20. The Glenorchy's 1-1-7.
They look really good, Clarence, when they get that open run, don't they, on the wide open expanses here at KG5. Ball in at half forward for the Roos. Richmond almost uncontested. Ball one down, nicely done. Pace shown by Barwick again. His kick finds Beams. Decides to sell a bit of candy and send the ball long towards Smith. Smith couldn't take the mark. He had Harper for company, then gets DDT'd. A little bit of wrestling here at KG5. We'll see a ball up. Blake Harper's been very good off half-back so far. Ruck contest again. Smith went up for it. Left the ball behind. Rush kick from the Roos. Goes long. And going back with a flight, taking the mark is Manson. Manson's kick. Wider still to a teammate. And some bright orange boots. Short kick is on. Goes in that direction, finds Wiley. haven't progressed here at all. The Gulliver's all by himself at half forward. That's a dangerous kick. Did really well, but then the Roos just chipped in and they'll move the ball forward. Now it's a foot race because there is no one inside forward 50 at all. Wiley couldn't take it. Green went the hip and shoulder. Got a nice shepherd, did Wiley. Gathered the footy and sent it out wide and finds Manson.
Marks on his chest, so the Glenorchy defence reasonably well organised so far this afternoon. Manson cuts inside, gets onto his right boot, kicks towards right half forward, but he won't get it past Richmond, who stretches and takes the mark.
Looks like the big fella from Happy Gilmore.
I believe that's Mr. Gilmore's jacket. They've turned it over here. Long ball towards the top of the square, nobody home. Johnston, easy pickings for the Roos. Spreads it to Cooney. Pops it over the top. They've got some time and space here now through Gapin. Short ball is good here to Harper. Move it up the wing. Bush continue to do so. Bush comes inside. Little handball now to Gapin. Controlling the footy here, Clarence. Paprotny now with the entry. Green the target. Good fist away. It bounces beyond defensive 50. Jenkins will get there first. Green recovered really well to give chase. Just toe poked it back in Clarence's general direction.
Whoa.
Shocking kick from Males. They'll turn it over again here. The Pies. High ball now to left half forward. Another chance. Inside it goes. Paprotny's pushed really hard inside. He'll take an uncontested mark. Tight and hard up on the boundary. He has been prominent so far, Tubes Taylor.
He certainly has been. He seems to be everywhere too, Oscar Paprotny. Might even get a kick at Lauderdale today.
So he has one to his name so far this afternoon.
Laughing at my own jokes.
No, it was funny. Hoping to add to the tally. Paprotny will improve the angle slightly. Set sail on goal. It's missing to the near side. So
Out on the full.
might have been out on the full. Didn't register. Just tried to hook it back a little far. Glenorchy ball.
So the ball to come in by Wiley. His kick is long. Baker Smith went with a 1-2 with Colin Garland. That's called a chest-to-chest body slam there while we're on the wrestling terms. And there'll be a ball up at half forward for the Roos. Richmond wins it down. Trying to shrug through there was Finlay. He got his hands free somehow, but it comes out now for Jackman. Jackman's kick. And almost got it there, did Hanslow. It's over the line again for another boundary throw-in. Beautiful day here in Glenorchy. The 24 minutes are gone. Clarence lead 3-2-20 to Glenorchy 1-1-7 in the first term.
Perfect May afternoon, isn't it? Classic Tasmanian day. Richmond with the double palm. Norton gives chase. He's got company though. He's in there trying to just wrestle it out. Support arrives. Harper just juggled the handball. There's a free kick here. It's going to go Clarence's way and they play on immediately. Spies something he likes inside. Drilling ball, unable to be taken. Oh, here's Green. He was lurking and pouncing and attempting on goal. Unable to make it work. A minor score to finish off the term as the siren sounds. Just wait for that score to update. I think it's Clarence 3-3-21. It is. So Glenorchy's 1-1-7 after the first term. Tubes, how'd you see it?
Well, it was pretty good. I mean, clearly Clarence are dominating possession. I think Glenorchy have definitely had their opportunities. They've had a few skill errors that have let them down. Josh Green's got a couple. He's providing a handful for all the Glenorchy defenders down there, and Oscar Paprotny with one. Goals for the Magpies, just the one to Ben Barwick, and it was an absolute ripper. They've got some building blocks, the Magpies. And you can see that they're trying to emulate what Clarence have done on the Eastern Shore in their junior program. They've got a lot of young players out here that are only going to benefit from playing senior footy at such a young age. Repeating, Clarence 3-3-21, leading Glenorchy 1-1-7 at quarter time in the Hobart Airport SFL. Thanks to Banjo's Bakery. This is Premier League footy at KG5. Tubes Taylor and Chris Rowbottom here with you. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment. by Bush. Bush kick, Green. That is to the Roos. And this one is a real gimme. Baker Smith owes him one. The ball pops now for Hanslow. Long kick. Green at the front. Got a fist from behind him. Meredith might have got the free kick for too high. He did. Comes the little champ from Clarence. Drills it. He's got 2 for the first term. And Clarence shoot out to an early lead.
Just tries to pump it out but gets the wrong side of the ball. Very high, up and under. Glenorchy's still alive here. Twisting and turning. Shot on goal from Barwick is absolute magic.
Wow.
Well, that is now. It's a left half forward. Another chance. Inside it goes, but Potney's pushed really hard inside. He'll take by something he likes inside. Drilling ball, unable to be taken. Oh, here's Green. He was lurking and pouncing and attempting on goal.
Welcome back to KG5. Second term about to get underway here in this Hobart Airport Southern Football League Round 5 match between the Glenorchy Magpies and the Clarence Roos. It's Clarence by 14 points at the moment, 3-3-21, leading Glenorchy 1-1-7. My name's Tubes Taylor. I'm here with Chris Rowbottom. One of the best callers in the biz here in Tasmania. Take it away, Rowie.
Big second term coming up in this black and white fortress. Gulliver lays a tackle. Only as far as Norton. Chance here for the Roos off half-back spearing ball just through the hands of Hanslow. He's hassled but manages to get boot to ball and get it off the deck, gain some valuable territory, bouncing inside forward 50, swooping upon it is Green. Some brilliance to centre the ball. Dillon got a hand to it, brought it to ground. Pies able to resist the push, and Manson slides in, takes the mark on his chest. He's got a player in support. Through the middle they go. Good kick up the line now, and a good mark taken by Alone. So a chance here early for the Pies. Gets it to a 2-on-1. He asked a lot of young beams in getting in front and taking the mark. It was Richmond, and they move it, McGuinness, and they move it to the outer side.
Glover got the footy forward. This one should roll out of bounds and does at half forward for the Roos as a 2-on-1. Ends up benefiting the one, rolling out, and Clarence can reset and look to attack. Boundary throwing. They've kicked it to Jake Beams a few times, 15-year-old in his debut as a leading forward, so they're expecting a fair bit of young Beams. Over the top it comes, and the short kick is on. Green on a lead. He doesn't drop those. Gobbles it up nicely, and will go back and have a shot at his third. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 so far in the game, Josh Green, and he's had plenty of it. He's looking young too.
Yeah, he's definitely lean. He's leaned up. He looks quick. He was known for his speed at AFL level, and he's really gained a little bit of that.
Here comes the little champ from Clarence. He's asking it to do a bit of work in the air, and Richmond going back with a flight takes the mark right on the line of the goal, and he'll go back from a tough angle. He wheels around and sends it to Northgate almost. Mark is taken out wide by Males. Males from the defensive back pocket on the left-hand side of the goals. He looks to reassess.
So deep in defence here. It was an interesting shot on goal, just mistimed it completely. Beyond defensive 50, go the Pies. Looking for a Loams, off hands Harper. Went back inside via hand. Paprotny, who was prominent in the first. Moves things forward by hand. Little chip into the pocket is nice and clever.
Gee, that was good from Fraser Turner on that far half-forward flank. He could have blazed away at the goals, but he lowered the eyes, looked inside, and Glover in the right spot took the mark. Tough kick for goal, though, from here. Might have been better off to blaze away.
Around the corner he goes. Looks to have struck that pretty well, and he likes it. He likes it a lot. Through it goes for the 4th major of the afternoon for the red and the white. And they extend the margin and draw first blood in this second term.
Gee, that finish was electric. I just said, this is a tough spot to kick a goal from, but he made no mistake. Kicked it as easy as you like, really.
It was brilliantly done, and it was just a little bit of class from Fraser Turner and Harper, a couple of the experienced campaigners to set up the shot in the pocket that resulted in a goal.
So back in the middle. 3.5 minutes gone in the second term. One down again. Through comes Harper. The ball just shrugs a few tackles. Gave the handball off to Paprotny. He goes wider still, finds Fraser Turner. Turner's kick deep inside forward 50, looking for Richmond, who pushed his man under the footy easy and took the mark. And that might be 50G. That was, he had all the time in the world. Josh Green, though, with a turn of pace, just burnt off Jack Males.
Males got sort of tangled up in that contest and then was running around the back of the mark, and that allowed Green to get free and take an easy one.
And looking back on it, Rowie, it probably should have been 50, but great work by Richmond to hit up Josh Green, and great work off the ball from Josh Green to get his shot on goal here. And he drills it too. What a kick from Josh Green. He's got 3.
Yeah, he certainly does, and it's just craft. It's just pure craft. He knew he had his man on toast. He knew he'd lost his opponent in the confusion, and if Josh Green's in any sort of amount of space or mood, then he's going to get the ball and set shots inside 35 metres. He can kick those with his eyes closed. So, first 2 of the quarter for Clarence. Bounce out to a 6-point lead. 5-3-33 the Roos. Glenorchy 1-1-7. No Harrison Gunther out there for the Pies this afternoon. And they go. Cooney just overruns it, but then manages to get a grasp on it. He's got Norton in support, raise the shoulders, and then the man on the outside in Gapin wheels inside, then goes to the top of the square. Awkward one for the Glenorchy defence. Here's Green again. He's taken down in a strong tackle.
They keep pulling players out of their junior ranks, don't they, the Clarence Roos? Max Gapin looks a shape, isn't he?
Up it goes. Down to the congestion. Glover high up and under to a dangerous spot, though. Almost a really impressive mark taken by Gapin. Another stoppage. Have we seen Josh Arnold return?
Haven't seen him out there yet.
It's a big blow if he's unable to get out there.
Might have him up the hospital just getting a few stitches in. Rowie.
Rolls over for a minor score.
So it'll be Wiley to take the kick from the back pocket. He plays on. There's a bounce too. Why not? Long kick. Nice fist from behind. Richmond did well. Got his handball up nicely to Talbot. Talbot's kick is good. And mark taken here by Harper. Harper's kick towards Green on the lead. Fist came from behind. Green looks sore. Gapin got the handball off. Nicely done to Ollie Hill. Ollie Hill wheels around the corner and it bounces through. Ollie Hill steps into the role as the laid out of Harry Richmond, and he's got a goal to his name.
Yeah, nice finish. Very nice finish. Just keeping an eye on Josh Green. He spent a couple of moments on the deck there after that contest.
Just wants us to be talking about him, I reckon.
Yeah, well, we're going to be doing plenty of that. I already have. Yeah, I don't know if your eyes are better than mine, Tubes. They probably are, but I need to see.
I know who you're looking for. Josh Arnold, the coach. Just ducked up to the nurse's office.
Yeah, and I can't see him down at the Pine either. So, Clarence get the first 3 of the second term. Can they go again out of the middle here? Gapin shrugs a tackle. Did he throw it out? Holding the ball, said the umpire. Clean run on goal here, Finlay. It was a potato sack of a kick. Back was McGuinness. Beams in the area. Sews it over.
That's what you want to see Glenorchy do. Just take a few risks and use their speed. It's good. Finlay.
And the Pies get one on the board here. Deep in attack. Ball in from the forward pocket. They go in after it. Here's Finlay again, just trying to carve a path through. Gets it out to a teammate. Thompson taken in the tackle. Barwick had his head ripped off. He might have just dropped the knees a little bit there to Barwick, but
Jackman's not happy about it.
It was a little enthusiastic. He might get some choice words on the way through, but he has a chance to kick number 2.
No, well, you know, Jackman knows the rules. You're not allowed to tackle a bloke over the head, even if he has got this sort of haircut. This is good. Benny Barwick, young star, playing in the pink boots too. Watch him celebrate if he kicks this.
From about 38 metres out. No real angle to speak of. Let's fly. Distance no trouble whatsoever, of course, and he drills it. Brilliant Ben Barwick. Gets himself a free kick. Gets himself a second goal. He's a player to watch. And the Pies desperately needed that one. Tubes Taylor.
Yeah, I like watching him. He's fun to watch.
He's going to be one of those guys gunning for a Devils VFL spot, I would have thought, in future years, and who knows beyond that. 6-4-40. The Roos, 2-1-13 Glenorchy, 9.5 gone second term. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Nice day for it at KG5.
Poor Isaac Mason. Very much undersized against Richmond in the ruck. Just needs to compete. Richmond does well, wins the tap down. And jumped on is the Clarence player there in Proprotny. And we'll see another reset. Richmond won it down. Through with pace. And your man Baxter Norton couldn't get it away, and a free kick going away for the Magpies. And Luke Nicholson handled over the top to Mason. Sends the ball deep inside forward 50 to Colin Garland. Wrapped it up as easy as you like. His short kick finds the goal kicker in Hill. Hill back to a teammate in Jackman. Jackman's kick goes to the half-forward position. Napley couldn't quite get a hold of it. Glenn gave a handball to space. Now again, Harper with some pace throws it on the boot, and that's it. Maybe a hole. Green played for it.
Yeah.
Might have actually been Tyson Hanslow that came through and got that kick forward.
Yeah, it was there. It was half there. There might have been a little bit of mustard added by Josh Green, but there was enough there to fool the umpire. And again, we talk about craft and its smarts and its guile, isn't it? That's what Josh Green has in spades.
Well, he's never out of the contest, is he? He can be out of position, but he works his way to it. In he comes for goal number 4. He's asking it to do a little work, and it needed to do more than it did. Through for a behind.
3 goals, 2.
6-5-41 Clarence. Lead Glenorchy 2-1-13.
It's been electric so far this afternoon. Pies in from fullback is Manson on the charge. Takes it in front of the eyes. Been used in the ruck this afternoon. To do it all. He's going to try and bite off a short one. It's good. Finlay's been thereabouts today. Back to Manson. Towards the broadcast wing. Oh, good fly over the back. Nice take from Baker Smith. Really good player, Baker Smith. Former Clarence Rue, of course. Of course, a bit of spice between these two teams. Shocking kick. Picked off. Here's Harper. Chance now for Clarence to reload. Hands low at half back. Just sits it up for Paprotny. Waits for it, takes it, on the back of the square. One way, then the other. Bites went off into the middle, it was misdirected. Chance here for the Pies to effect the turnover. Thompson on hands and knees, just spied a black and white jumper out wide. Got it to Roberts, who just had to ride the tackle at ground level. Very lucky not to be pinged. And the secondary tackler arrives in Brodie Glenn, who's got a haircut that I reckon you would have seen a lot of at this ground about 1985. And it's made a comeback, which is great to see. Here's Roberts with some bounce through the middle of the ground. Good kick too, onto the chest of Alomes. Thought about the turn and go. Gets things moving quickly, and that's another good kick to the leading player. So Smith on the charge, marks on his chest, and he'll have a shot on goal. Probably had the better of Cole Garland so far this afternoon. Chance to add to the tally.
A good lead from Alomes. I thought he could have gone back and had a shot on goal, but he decided to hit up this man in Smith, and he probably owes him one, I reckon, Baker Smith, for his early discretion in the first term. He kicked it backwards 30 metres to the opposition.
Really close to the man on the mark, but it looked a goal as soon as it left the boot. It sails through post high.
That's a beautiful kick.
It was a magnificent kick. Baker Smith converts and gets his first of the afternoon. Glenorchy get back-to-back goals.
Yeah, again, Baker Smith took him a little while. I talked to him earlier in the week, and he said it took him a little while to build his fitness base, and he's still sort of in that process because he was late to the club, but he's really enjoying himself here at the Magpies, and to go back and kick a goal in front of nearly 230 people up in the Styles Cooney Cup function. That'll do him the world of good. There's a bit of a cult following. His old man, very good player for New Norfolk, coached a few different sides down in southern Tasmania. We're back in the middle. 6-5-41 Clarence lead, Glenorchy 3-1-19. Henslow got the handball back. Proprotny, handball's over the top. Finds Mapley, who goes long down towards Richmond, who takes a strong mark in front of Meredith. Not much you can do there. He's a monster of a man. Just clutched on to the share, and he'll go back and have a shot at the goal.
That's blueprint, isn't it? Chain of handballs through the middle, direct to your big man, one-on-one, takes the mark, shot on goal.
In comes Richmond. Oh, yuck.
That's not part of the plan.
Unfortunately, Ruckman, it's a long way from their hands to their feet sometimes, and the ball can get a little bit lost, Rowie.
And from fullback come the Pies. Just steadied a little bit here in this second term after conceding the first three. McNamara marks in defence, just puts it up in the air. Barwick just wait for it, but enough time to judge it into his hands. Short ball flirts with the boundary line, but it's good enough into the arms of Hilda. Not a lot on for Hilda. He's going to go short and inboard. Pye says that's not the required, so they have to get things moving now, the Pies. Flying over the top was Harper. Thompson weighted down. He was tackled at ground level. They fight after it, but it's going nowhere. We have a ball up right in front of our broadcast position. Here comes to Mapley, but nicely sharked by Nicholson. They can work something out here. Up the line here is Baker Smith. In front of Garland once more. So right on centre wing. Smith just dumps it long. Inside forward 50. There's some jostling going on. This might be a free kick to Beams. I think it is. That's one of the advantage of being lightly framed.
Again, though, why are they hitting up 15-year-old Jake Beams on debut on a lead from half forward?
Well, normally they'd be kicking to Baker Smith, but
Correct.
Baker Smith was the one kicking the ball.
So that's what they're lacking right now, isn't it? Jake Beams is going to have a shot here. I don't mind this.
Right in front of the pavilion as well. This will be loud if he manages to convert. Okay off the boot, but it's going to drift over the front. Well, that's a good mark, a good contested mark. It might be a Loams.
It is.
And that's exactly the second target that you're referring to, Tubes Taylor.
Well, I just want to see a Loams being given a little bit of area so that Jake Beams can run around, and if it comes to the front of the pack, we know that's what he's going to do.
Around the body he goes and makes no mistakes. So Glenorchy just hanging around here. They add another. Bryce Loams gets on the scoreboard. His first of the afternoon. 4-1-25. The Pies they still trail, just chipping away.
17 points the margin here. KG5. The breeze has picked up a little bit too, Rowie. Going away towards the scoreboard, so away from the commentary position, just slightly going to the left of your screen. So there might be a slight advantage going that direction. Any goals kicked to the western end of the ground here, to the right of your screen, are really beneficial. Back in the middle, Mapley. Against Dillon. Dillon gets his hands on it. At the back it comes here. Rush kick. Cooney gave it off over the top. That's a great tackle. Proprotny got a foot to the footy though. Cooney again throws it on the boot, rushing after it. The Magpie defenders get it away. Wiley gave it off to Hilda. Hilda with a turn of toe. Can have a bounce here. He's got Gapin for company. His kick isn't great. Beams again required to do some more work. Mapley gets his kick long and deep down towards Richmond and Co. Going back to the flight. That was great work. Free kick, no. Umpire said play on. He's got the point in the wrong direction. Whitford goes out wide to Glenn. Glenn looks up. He's got a man on short and Finlay. He gets there. Finlay goes quickly again. And the mark taken here by Ranson. Now, where are the forwards? Well, the big ruckman's got involved here. And Dillon.
Put in some hard ones too to Dillon to get there.
He's a left footer, big man. So he's a long way from his hands. Smith came to the front of the pack. Nicely done by Fraser Turner. Got it to Johnston. Johnston goes out wide. Had to be quick, did Gapen. He got it away through the fingertips, though, of Dan Cooney. It wasn't actually Cooney, I beg your pardon, as the kick goes down towards Beams, and here he is all alone. Now a chance for the man on debut to go back and kick his first, as his dad did so many times here at KG5.
He was such a gun, Ben Beams. One of the all-time players out of Tasmania. Doesn't quite have the AFL career he should have had, but geez, he was good.
He just was a competitor. In comes Jake Beams, 15 years old, on debut for the seniors. He's disappointed. Through from behind.
I know we've got to be impartial on the call tubes, but we're barracking for the moment, aren't we?
We are. We like seeing young fellas playing their debut games for a club that they grew up at.
Especially, the sons of legends. But you'll have to wait a little longer. A minor score only. Out towards the outer side. Early fly there from Gapen. He sort of just fell into his hands on the way down. Not how he scripted it, but he'll take it. And I like this little fight back from Glenorchy. They're still 16 points adrift, but they've been competitive in the back end of this second quarter. And just play a little bit of possession footy here to the Roos. So it's out on the outer side. High ball along the boundary, Mapley direction. Meredith at the back for Glenorchy, got hands to it, then controlled it pretty nicely to allow the ruckman in Ewan Dillon in. And he's taken the ground. Another stoppage, left or right half forward for the Roos.
It's even further for a ruckman to bend over from his hands to the ground, Rowie.
Some height about him, does Ewan Dillon.
He does.
He might have Mapley covered, but he's not much of him. Here's Roberts now. They win some more possession here to the Pies. A little wobbler towards the boundary. It's out on the full. They've turned it over. So Clarence ball. Centre wing out of side.
It's a long way from the commentary position here. It's Johnston to take the footy. Long one. Dillon sits underneath it. Gapen flew high. Roving on there was Cooney. Now a chance for Meredith. He's got a couple to beat here, Meredith. Does really well. Richmond caught him a little bit high. And now we see the free kick going to Meredith. So Cooper Meredith will get the footy in the back line. Sends it wide. Finds Hilda. Hilda across the face of goal. Down towards Males. Males looks up. He's got a man all by himself in McNamara. McNamara's kick is really high. And just on the fingertips there of Keegan Wiley, and it's out of bounds.
They've been able to do that well. Create that extra on the fat side, as they call it. And have an outlet kick. Been able to convert at every opportunity, but been able to give themselves a chance at least. Dillon wins it over the back. Beautifully rowed by Hanslow. Bursts through a couple of would-be tacklers and now sends Clarence inside 50. That is champagne footy. Richmond at the back. Takes the big mark and kicks the goal. And that was all set up by Tyson Hanslow. Beautiful stoppage work. Carved himself a path and set up a goal for his big man deep.
Beautiful stuff by Tyson Hanslow. Just strong, really strong. Shrugged a couple of tackles and then sent it up too. He burst through with pace, but then to kick it to the advantage of Big Ben Richmond. Elite. Great stuff.
So they get a little steadier to the Roos. 7-6-48. Glenorchy's 4-2-26. Deep into the second term.
22 points the margin here. Deep into the second quarter. As Richmond now has to tie his shoelaces. I think they've given him some Velcros. Ruck contest. Richmond and Dillon. Dillon wins it down. Finley sends the ball up. Flying at the footy is Alomes. Did really well. A couple of defenders for Clarence just took each other out of the footy. And Alomes will go back and have a shot on goal. For the quick response for the Magpies. Still no Josh Arnold on the bench for the Magpies. Alomes. Nice approach. Is it worked? No, it's just hit the post. So a let down for all Glenorchy supporters.
Yeah, just grazed it on the inside. Just lean back and love it off the boot. A minor score from fullback. Come the Roos. The top Dylan. Just tried to fist it away. It ends well though, because the black and white jumpers have the footy. Wiley just screws one in board, but it's ill-directed. Getting in front was Harper. Takes the saving mark in front of Manson. A bit of the footy this afternoon is Harper put hands low under the pump, but he's good enough to time his jump and take the grab. Comes inside and will kick long up the line now. All hands low in the Mapley direction, got hands to it, unable to reel it in. I've got some holding on. Umpire said play on. Work it out here by hand, do the Pies. Wiley on the outside, gets boots the ball, kicks to a 2-on-1. Just unable to take the mark was Manson, just falling away. Oh, ends up into the lap of Thompson. Nice kick. He's got Beams running on goal who take the mark. Now this is the chance.
Beautiful stuff. That was excellent stuff from Ben Barwick back here at the defensive side of centre wing. His pace was excellent. He saw Wiley out wide. The voice was loud. And it's resulted in this shot on goal for a young gun.
This next generation of Tassie footballer, Jake Beams, pumps the fist, points to the heavens.
And they've come from everywhere too.
The black and white army embrace a famous name on the hallowed KG5 turf. They come from all angles to get around Jake Beams. His first goal at senior level in his first game. And I'm sure his old man's watching on with a big grin on his face.
I know exactly where Ben Beams is because I saw him before the game. And I said, I'll see you up at the Styles Cooney Cup function. He said, absolutely not. Jakey's got his debut. He's sitting over there near the light post by himself. He's up there on the far side of the wing. That is beautiful stuff for Jake Beams. His first goal in senior football coming here at the home of his old man as well. And he's one for the record books. Back in the middle. So they're hanging around here. Glenorchy 5-3-33. Glenorchy trail Clarence 7-6-48. 15 points the margin. Deep into junk time of the second term. Bouncing ball. Richmond gave the handball out wide and get it back here. Fast one from Norton to Hanslow. Back to Norton. Norton looks up. He had men on the wing and decided to kick in hope. Glenn kept the feet. Through with pace came Bush. Numbers around the footy. Wiley grabs it and then the umpire says, I'll take it, thanks fellas. And then there'll be a ball up at half forward for the Roos. Well set up behind the ball the Roos. Umpire's pulled out a free kick. Who's it going to? Going to Paprotny. Well, he had the footy. The umpire said you can't hold his jumper. So he gets asked to play on. The man crashed him from the side. Green may have had his jumper held through from behind.
Just 15 points the margin here at KG5. It sort of felt at times like Clarence was well and truly on top, but Glenorchy hanging around, providing some good fight. I think they're without their playing coach, Josh Arnold. We haven't seen him return. He might be back in time for the second half. And a couple of other big names too. Gunther, the big one. There's the siren. It sounds the end of the first half. Glenorchy 5-3-33. Clarence 7-7-49. An entertaining first half of footy here at KG5. Goal kickers for you. Josh Green has 3 for Clarence. Richmond and Paprotny have singles as well. Glenorchy, Barwick has a couple. Alomes, Baker Smith, and we saw Jack Beams kick his first major at senior level. Son of Ben, and on debut this afternoon. So, good game here unfolding between two traditional rivals, arch enemies in fact, Glenorchy and Clarence. It's the Roos with the lead at the main break. 7-7-49, Glenorchy 5-3-33. We'll take a short break and be back in the second half soon.
Wherever cancer is, we are. We are the supporters, preventers, researchers and advocates, leading Australia to a future without cancer. Every day, we're finding new and better ways to offer services, share knowledge and bring hope to Australians everywhere, because cancer affects us all. We're here to listen and care for people, however they need us, whenever they need us, through any type of cancer at any stage of the journey. Every day, we are supporting world-class researchers, empowering them to dream big and make the impossible possible. Together, we're pushing boundaries, unlocking the answers to understand, prevent and treat cancer. We're improving the lives of those living with it and even getting close to eliminating some cancers altogether. You may not see us, but we're here, in schools and people's homes, on the beach, at work and on the streets, helping millions of Australians cut their risk and detect cancer sooner. We know that 1 in 3 cancers can be avoided, so we're out there preventing as many as we can. You may not hear us, but our voice is loud. Every day, we're using it to advocate, change laws and drive policies, to reduce cancer risks and improve cancer care, to break ground and speak for the community in places where they're not always heard. Every day, we're closer to a future without cancer. And as a charity, we rely on Australia's biggest hearts to help us get there faster.
Blunston's been building hard-working boots for over 150 years. The tougher you need them, the tougher we build them, giving you advanced protection and all-day comfort. After all, you never stand still, so neither do we. Blunston, building the future.
Oh, you mean the jam and cream? Good stuff.
Go! And one for you as well. Got it.
Original glazed. Classic.
At Banjo's, we speak donuts. Introducing our new range of flavours. Now there's one for everyone. Banjo's, making donuts better.
Clarence. He's asking it to do a bit of work in the air, and Richmond going back with the flight takes the mark right on the line of the goal.
Back inside by hand, Paprotny, who was prominent in the first. Moves things forward by hand. Little chip into the pocket is nice and clever.
Gee, that tough kick for goal though from here. Might have been better off to glaze away.
Around the corner it goes. Looks to have struck that pretty well, and he likes it. He likes
Mark.
it.
And that might be 50 G. That was he had all the time in the world. Josh Green, though, with a turn of pace, just burnt Green. And great work off the ball from Josh Green to get his shot on goal here. And he drills it too. What a kick from Josh Green. He's got.
If he's unable to get out there.
Might have him up the hospital just getting a few stitches in. Rowie.
Rolls over for a minor score.
Green on the lead. Fist came from behind. Green looks sore. Gapin got the handball off. Nicely done to Ollie Hill. Ollie Hill wheels around the corner and it bounces through. Ollie Hill steps into the roll.
Through, gets it out to a teammate. Thompson taken in the tackle. Barley got his head ripped off. He might have just dropped the knees a little bit. No real angle to speak of. Let's fly. Distance, no trouble whatsoever, of course, and he drills it. Brilliant Ben Bowie.
Now again, Harper with some pace. Throws it on the boot, and that's it. Maybe a hole. Green played for it. Works his way to it. In he comes for goal number 4. He's asking it to do a little work, and it needed to do more than it did. Through for a behind.
Swing. Ooh, good fly over the back. Nice take from Baker Smith. 2. Onto the chest of Alomes. Thought about the turn and go. Gets things moving quickly, and that's another good kick to the leading player. So
He kicked it backwards 30 metres to the opposition.
Really, really close to the man on the mark, but it looked a goal as soon as it...
Ball's over the top. Finds Mapley, who goes long down towards Richmond, who takes a strong mark in front of Meredith. In comes Richmond. Oh, yuck.
That's not part of the plan.
Unfortunately,
So right on centre wing. Smith just dumps it long. Inside forward 50. There's some jostling going on. This might be a free kick to Beams. I think it is. This will be loud if he manages to convert. Okay off the boot, but it's going to drift over the front. Well, that's a good mark, a good contested mark.
in the area so that Jake Beams can run around, and if it comes to the front of the pack, we know that's what he's going to do.
Around the body he goes and makes no mistakes. So Glenorchy
Quick did gape, and he got it away through the fingertips, though, of Dan Cooney. It wasn't actually Cooney, I beg your pardon, as the kick goes down towards Beams, and here he is all alone for the seniors. He's disappointed. Through from behind.
over the back, beautifully rode by Hanslow, burst through a couple of would-be tacklers and now sends Clarence inside 50. That is champagne footy. Richmond at the back, takes the big mark and kicks the goal.
Dillon wins it down. Finley sends the ball up. Flying at the footy, Zalone did really well. A couple of defenders for this approach. Does it work? No, it's just hit the post.
2 on 1. Just unable to take the mark was Manson, just falling away. Oh, ends up into the lap of Thompson. Nice kick. He's got Beams running on goal who take the mark. Now this is the chance. This next generation of Tassie footballer. Jake Beams pumps the fist, points to the...
Peruse. Umpire's pulled out a free kick. Who's it going to? The man crushed him from the side. Green may have had his jumper held through from behind.
Welcome back to KG5, where the second half is upon us. Glenorchy, Clarence, rivals. 16-point buffer to the Roos, 7-7-49 to Glenorchy's 5-3-33. Pies showed plenty of fight in that second term as Clarence threatened to run away with things. It's been a good contest so far. Tubes Taylor's been up in the function room for the Styles Cooney Cup arrangement with 240 packed in.
Tell you what, they are 3 sheets to the wind, Rowie, too, let me tell you.
Yeah, I reckon.
They're having a good time.
Only one way to be. KGV.
So a 16-point margin here for the visitors. I think you said it a couple of times during the call, Rowie, that Glenorchy just sticking around, and I don't mind that.
And they certainly are. First goal here will be very interesting.
Did get some feedback though. Arnold has gone to hospital.
He's gone to hospital. Right, confirmation. Tubes out getting the mail. Arnold has gone to hospital with that gash above his right eye that he sustained early in the piece. So out of the middle, Clarence with the early going. Paprotny been one of the best for the afternoon. Garland had his jumper pulled, but he took the mark anyway. Done that a few times over the journey. Plays on by hand. It was Harper who had the flying shot on goal. This might be all the way to the line. It's a minor score, but an early signal of intent for the visitors.
Collected after disposed of the ball too. Probably could have got a free kick as the kick comes out for Wiley. Wiley across the face of goal. Goes back and finds Meredith. Meredith's kick is horrible. Hits up Glover.
That was casual, wasn't it?
Very casual. Glover's going to go back and have a shot on goal here for his second. The exact start that they wanted for the Roos. Look at the kids behind the goals too, just trying to put him off, and it's worked. It's worked beautifully. Glover hits up a behind. So 2 behinds. So push the margin out to an even 3 goals.
1-1. James Glover so far this afternoon. Out to the near side it comes. The 1-on-1. Michael Smith was involved. Again did well. Working through hands here to the Roos. Running board. Open. Norton just has to think his way through it. Eventually just pops it up. Put his teammate under a little bit of pressure for Crotty, but as he's done all day, wins the day and gets the Roos inside 50. Big fist over the top. The boundary line wins out. All in, right in front of the function area where Tubes Taylor has been working the room.
Yeah, a little bit. Just did a silent auction and then a public auction, Rowie, and raised some funds for the Glenorchy Football Club. Patchy Styles and Jamie Kay have been doing an immense amount of work to get this football club back to where they need to be.
The ruck is Finlay, who found himself a nice path. He's been pretty good today. Just kicks out the green grass on the outer side. One-on-one battle. Big Johnston, who gives chase for the Roos. It's in the footy, and then cut it inside. And it was nice to gape a little ball. The Turner is good, and they have it at centre half back.
Fraser Turner wheels around. He's got a short one on, finds Hanslow. Hanslow to the defensive side of centre, just looks around and hits up Mapley. Mapley will look for a handball here. He doesn't have it. He's not a bad kick of the footy for a big man. So he'll wheel around. I might have put the rockers on him. Long kick is a bit of a pass to inside forward 50. Sitting out back is his direct opponent who dropped what he should have taken. Glover bends one around the corner and nice fist punches one across the line for another behind.
Yeah, nervous moment there for Ewan Dillon. Glover couldn't quite make him pay. So sort of similar start to the second half as it was to the first, with Clarence doing all the early peppering. Again, a really interesting kick there.
I think what's happening here is they're trying to hit up spots and over-kicking it, Rowie. That was just hard and direct to the opposition. It was not very good.
Low dart ends up with Paprotny. He's going to see something he likes in the pocket. It's an early contact that the umpire might have missed, and Glenorchy will get out of jail here because Baker Smith has it at left half back. He tries to bite one off in the middle of the ground, and this time it comes off. Nicholson now, he's got 2 inside 50, a 2-on-2. Alomes is there, Beams at the fall, just had it ripped out of his grasp. Coming through was Thompson, and he's got Roberts all alone in the square, and Glenorchy draw first blood in this third term. They work it coast to coast, and they get one of those really risky kicks to stick, and it pays dividends.
Well, it was Baker Smith that bit off the one that he normally in the first half. He wasn't getting anywhere near it, but that's better. Good running from the Glenorchy Magpies, and then Adam Roberts over the back with a cheeky one. Ran in front of the footy and got it. And Glenorchy picked the margin back. It's 13 points. 6-3-39. Glenorchy to Clarence, 7-10-52. 4 3/4 minutes gone in the third term. We're back in the middle. Someone turn that siren off, please. Mapley won it out of the ruck, then was held over the footy was Nicholson. He kept going. Now Dillon just threw a leg at it, got dumped in the tackle, and there'll be a reset here. Right on the edge of the cricket pitch at KG5. Dillon works to the front. Mapley worked better. Norton got it out to Turner. Turner goes to Johnstone. He's at centre wing. He's got himself into a little bit of trouble. Went back to Turner. Turner's kick is a good one. To Glover. Glover looks up. He's got a lead from Green. Green did really well to just work his way to the front of the pack. He was gone, and then the umpire said it was low tackle. They thought it was a free kick. Umpire said play on. Ball box out the back to Proprotny. Proprotny's handball goes over the top. Bush, I think it's Bush over there. Got a kick to the footy somehow. Now a chance if it couldn't have been Bush, because here's Bush now. Goes towards goal with a beauty. There's bushes popping up everywhere. I think it ended up being Garland. There's a lot of lookalikes down in that forward line, and Garland kicks his first. And the first of the term for the Roos goes to the veteran.
Yep, just...
So I might have got my Bush right first.
First time you've said that, Tubes.
No, won't be the last time I get a Bush wrong either. It's the siren. It's driving me bananas.
Yeah, not sure where it's coming from. Might be the alarm over in the food court. Off gate. Back in the middle we go, though. Good start to this third term. Clarence hit back via the boot of Colin Garland. Back at the club. First game today. They contest the ruck. Dillon goes up, won the tap down decisively, but didn't have a rover to gather the footy for him. It'll end up in Clarence's hands. They can go through the middle of KG5, sparing ball to right half forward. Juggling the temp is good, and here is Bush. Turns and goes inside 50. Here's Garland. They're looking for him a little more often now. He's been swung forward. Can't take the mark on this occasion. Hacked out of the area. Good battle here forming. Alomes gets there first for Glenorchy. Just put it onto the bootlaces of his teammate in Whitford, who had to go and find it but couldn't quite. Gape, and then eventually went in first and won a free kick for his efforts. A high tackle. Good attack on the footy. Wobbles one to the near side.
Good defending on the mark there from Alomes.
Proprotny. Yep, into the middle of the ground, and Mapley just takes a little slip. He's in a long high ball inside. 2-on-1 down there. Dillon's folded back. He's got a long way to bend down. He's got Green for company. That's a mismatch. He goes to ground, as does Green. Glenorchy in possession to the bootlaces of Roberts. Might have been taken high by Harper. I said yes, he was.
Adam Roberts will reset from halfback for the Glenorchy Magpies. He's got a short one on if he wants in Gulliver. Decides against that, waits for Dillon to get back, and I think this will be a long kick up the wing towards the ruckman. It is big fly by Mapley over the back. Johnston gets tackled by Beams, and we'll see a boundary throw in at centre wing. 6-3-39 Glenorchy trail Clarence, 8-10-58. They've had twice as many scoring shots. Which probably tells you a little bit about how the game might end up. Boundary throw in there. Sticking around though, the Magpies. Mapley got it off. There was a little hold on Harper there. Umpire said play on. Barwick went in. The handball came out nicely from Nicholson out to Roberts. The kick is chopped off though. Johnston receives the handball. Long kick towards Bush. Nice fist came over the top. Couldn't hold on there. It was young Gapin. And actually, it's Ollie Hill who throws it on the boot. And here is Gapin taking the mark, going back with the flight. They're telling him to be quick. Ollie Hill. Looks like he's going to back himself. There's an open goal square if he wants to go in that direction straight away. And now, finally, Gillen gets back for the Magpies. He gets called to play on, and then just pops it up to the 25-metre mark. Bush flies high. I tell you what, that was real high stuff from the defender in McNamara, and they clear out to Roberts.
Roberts off the boot of Males, and he finds a target out wide. They can move it through the middle of the ground here. No, they're on the outer side. Kick now to a one-on-one. Beams out the back. Just had it knocked away at the last moment by Harper. He's been slippery so far this afternoon as Beams. He's had a couple of good looks. He's kicked a goal. So he's on the board for his senior career. Big things ahead for him, no doubt. Did you say he was 15, Tubes?
That's right. He's playing under 16s footy if he plays to his age groups. But here he is playing against grown men.
Bust through here. Thompson, and he's brought to ground. So Beams will be very close to being in that first intake of Devils AFL players in a couple of years' time. Kick beyond defensive 50 now. 1-on-1. Gapin, nice body work. Got in front and took the chest mark.
He's one to watch too, this young fella.
Yeah, there's lots of good kids out there at the moment.
This is Tommy Gapin. To Hill. Hill again short. So the possession footy here is working okay. Short one again. Onto Glover. Glover's got Turner. He decides to go further afield to Jackman. Jackman wheels around, sends the ball long to a lead. Big fly from Green. Rolling out the back is Gapin. How did he get all the way down there? He's going to get it back, Josh Green, and he's going to kick his fourth. Little masterclass from Josh Green. He was on his hands and knees moments before, and all of a sudden here he is popping up to kick the goal. He was out of it, Rowie.
Yep. No, it just knows where to be, knows how to get there. And when you are as good as he is, if you're even in a little metre of space, they'll look for you and they'll find you generally. So fourth for Josh Green as Clarence make it back-to-back majors. Just to get some breathing space back. Starting to cool down here a little bit.
Still nice, isn't it? Still paradise here in Tasmania.
God's country.
God's very own.
All the suburbs of Hobart. Manson back in the ruck. Hanslow on the charge again. He's been dangerous around the stoppages. He was just stopped in his tracks, but there's a ball flying inside. Forward 50 for the Roos. Shot on goal by Cooney. High to the top of the square. It was missed by Males. There's a free kick here.
Against Green.
And they'll go the way of the Pies.
Just pushed his opponent under the footy.
So he's got the short one on. If he wants, it's a little riskier, but it's good to Clark. It's barely 15, but umpire will say it's within the rules. Manson. Clarence have set the ground up well here, so they're going to be forced to retreat a little bit. The Pies, they might have to get something moving by hand. A little fake handball just opens things up a little bit. Meredith was under the pump. Well done to affect the contest. Hill got it back and now tumbles one inside 50. Green got hands to it and able to bring it in. Bush was there, couldn't bring it under his spell. Fight for it. Gapin was taken maybe in a high tackle. I said no, it was all fair and reasonable. The stoppage inside attacking 50 for the Roos.
Garland in the ruck, up against Mason. Garland wins it down, only as far as that man in Finlay. On the wrong side for him, he throws a left boot at it, through a number of players. Hill gathers the footy and just shoots it back to where it came. Big fly, big pack. Umpire's pulled out a free kick. Which way is this going? It'll be a free kick going away of the Roos. It'll be Glover. I don't even think he was in that contest, to be fair. He's just gathered the footy and said, yeah, I'll take it. So James Glover. He's had a shot from here before where a number of the junior Magpies put him off behind the plate. This one's on a slight an angle. A little bit more obtuse. In comes James Glover. That's a lovely kick. I'll tell you what's working though.
There is that little bit of breeze that he's pushing that way.
He's celebrating and he copped it from the peanut gallery. He's kicked 1 goal, 3. 3 behinds in this term for James Glover.
At a full back. While he runs his full measure, he's going to pick out Mapley who he got in front, took the mark. Plays on by hand. Turner had to be quick. Was forced to just wobble one inside 50. A good chase down tackle. Cries of ball. Umpire said no. And locks it up.
Just a bit of pressure over here, Rowie.
Yeah, the ruse. Clarence just starting to just turn the screws a little bit here. Flex their muscle. Going in the ruck now. Kick out of the congestion. So nobody in particular. Johnson over the top. Tried to knock it to his team's advantage, but Thompson was there for the Pisces. Finlay just kicks it into the middle. 1-on-1. Owens was the target. The Roos will win the day. Norton, he's pretty evasive normally. Rode the tackle. Got a handball off, but the kick was smothered. Barwick went in hard. Was taken off the ball. He was held. This will be a free kick to Glenorchy. So they win some clean possession in the middle of the ground. Barwick sends Glenorchy deep. Over the back was Beams. Just misjudged it. Chance now to clean it up. On the outer side. Awkward ball. Back in board. Glenorchy still in with the hunt. Kick on goal here. All the way to the teeth. Touched on the line.
That was Josh Whitford kicking that one in. Had some options out wide, but blazed away. And ends up kicking rush behind. Harper brings it out, kicks it towards Mapley. Beams. Tackled immediately. And we'll see a ball up. Beams just put a little limp here. Contest one down by Mapley. Glenn went hard at the footy. Harper went even harder, then just dragged it in to the thigh trappers of Glenn. And we'll see a ball up.
What were you doing as a 15-year-old in terms of your footy career, Tubes?
No, barely getting a touch for grade. Must have been grade 10. I would have been in grade 10. That's ridiculous. I was in grade 10. We won the premiership in grade 10 at Marist Regional College. And, mate, I didn't do a lot, let me tell you. Wasn't even playing under 18s at Penguin by that stage.
We lost the state flag to Marist College as a Newtown boy.
Sucked in.
2004.
It would have been pretty good.
Tom Hislop.
Yeah, very good.
Ended our dreams.
Out it comes now. Henslow got it away. Glover has Whitford for company. His handball went over the top to his teammate though in Steele. Back now to Fraser Turner. And he finds Cooney at centre wing. He's got a man in Johnston a little closer to the middle of the corridor. He feigns a few handballs, then looks up. He's got a lead on here from Josh Green. He was never not marking that. Josh Green can go long. He decides against it. He's backing himself only. He's got Proprotny down in deep. And he decides to go back and take it on his own shoulders. I almost guarantee he'll play on here. There he goes. Sends a long ball. And that's a strong grab to Colin Garland. He plays on quickly, sends one home too. Cole's got one, another one, rather. 2 in the term, in fact. And these veterans of AFL football never seem to really lose it.
Yeah, pretty handy when you got 2 of them running around in your forward line at local level. Cole Garland's kicked a hell of a lot of goals at local level here in Tassie over the journey. 200 plus games at AFL level as a defender for Melbourne, of course, and that grade 10 final in 2004, he took part in that game.
Did he?
He did. He was our big talisman up forward.
Someone's playing the John Cena music.
Yeah, I
over there.
know.
we were joking earlier about the wrestling references, but then someone's broke out Cena.
You can't see me, says Josh Green. But yeah, Cole Garland, he's been doing that for a long
So
time.
he was in that team with you.
He certainly was.
Wowee.
I didn't get a kick
Why aren't you still out there playing, Rowie?
because I'm a hack. I was washed up in about 2012. While Colin Garland was playing on the MCG. Here's Whitford on the right boot. Inside 50. Off the hands of Alomes. Beams at the back. Dodges, weaves, hits up a target. Wonderful work from the young man. Jenkins on the end of it. And I've seen enough from Jake Beams today. And he will be a player. Of that, I am sure.
Yeah, he comes from good footy stock, doesn't he?
Yep.
He's been the lead-up target for half the game,
Yeah,
Rowie.
that's right. They need this to the Pies. Bailey Jenkins. Looked okay off the boot. He struck it pretty well, but he just missed to the right-hand side. A minor score for him.
So it's Clarence well and truly in charge here at KG5. They bring it out from fullback, looking for Mapley. Fist came from Dylan. Whitford gets past one, got his handball away. Gulliver laid the tackle towards an opponent in Gapin. And it comes now for Hill. Hill's kick doesn't favour Bush. Going back to the fight was Wiley, but Bush did really well. Maybe a dangerous sling tackle there, and it was.
Yeah, that just always gets paid now. There's just no doubt in the umpire's mind as soon as that action.
And to be fair, it's probably not necessary to do it either.
No.
The ball was trapped. He had him. It was a stoppage, and now it's the opposition's free kick. On kick in from Hanslow. Big fly at the back. Gapin was there too. He's calling for a mark. Is the Glenorchy player in Meredith, but about 14 people had hands on that footy, so it's no free kick and a ball up. 21 minutes gone in the third term. Again, down it comes from Richmond. Meredith clears the footy momentarily. Should have taken that mark. It was Nicholson. He's turned into trouble though. Went back and got it. Good hands out to Roberts. Roberts looks up. He's feigning a few handballs. He's got one runner in Wiley. Wiley's kick goes okay. Jenkins gathers. Through with pace came Wiley, but then left the footy all alone. And it'll be a free kick to Wiley here at centre wing.
Yeah, they had numbers and they just
Butchered it.
they tangled themselves up a little bit, but they'll get out of jail here because the short ball from Wiley to Smith, a couple of former Clarence boys combined for the Pies. Inside 50 now. They go. Alome's the target, brings it to ground. Flashing through was Beams. Couldn't get a handle on it, but Protney ended up with the ball. Kick was partially affected. It ends in Clarence hands, though. Johnston and now Norton dashing through the middle. Left foot ball. He's got players out the back. There's a good one-on-one forming here. Roberts got there first. Good tackle applied, and it was a good contest before the throw was affected.
I'm not sure about that throw, but umpire's in a much better spot than me.
Yeah, it's a little one where you get the arms trapped and you maybe graze the handball through with a knuckle, but you don't make the contact required and they deem it a throw. Either way, it's a free kick to Clarence.
This is Tommy Gapin.
Just improves the angle slightly. Just did not get it whatsoever. Still dangerous at the top of the square.
Oh, he's a freak.
Josh Green, absolutely vintage from the champion.
He's a freak. I saw him running around that pack, and he just had his name on it. The fist came from the defender. It was the big ruckman in Ewan Dillon who got it down. But he had his name on that ball from the moment it went sky high. The kick wasn't very good from Tommy Gapin, but the way that Josh Green ran to the fall of the ball, he's just a freak. It is beautiful to watch. The margin extends here at KG5. It's now 36 points, a 6-goal lead. They've burst out of the blocks here in the third term. Have Clarence against the breeze too. Back in the middle, Richmond up against Dillon. Richmond wins it down. Through with pace came back to Norton. His left foot kick goes long and deep down towards Garland and Co. Going back to the flight. That might be Meredith. It is. His kick Goes out wide to Whitford. When they get space, they look really good. Kick goes towards Jenkins. Can't take the mark because Johnston did really well. And we've got a ball in at centre wing here at KG5.
So they've kicked away here. Out there a 6-goal margin. Josh Green just a sight to behold. Norton applies a big tackle.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great.
That's the sort of stuff you go to the footy to watch, isn't it? Magic.
Out of the stoppage. Going nowhere. Umpire circles. Have you noticed an uptick in the crowds, Tube, since we've gone back to the regional setups?
Particularly in these games, Rowie.
Yeah.
Now that they're not TSL games, I think there's a little bit more involvement from the community, which is great to see. I think we've got the format about right. There's a little bit of work to do. We're going okay.
Finlay around the body. Baker Smith direction. Just did get a handle on it. Was frustrated that he couldn't keep it in.
You've been following that TSL, given your role at the ABC. You follow that TSL football really closely. Do you think this is the right thing for Tasmanian football? Because Brendan Gale said today, 2026 VFL side for the Devils.
It is, as long as the elite setups come in over the top. That's the big one. If you go back to regionals without a Devils, it doesn't make a great deal of sense. And if you go to a Devils VFL without an AFL, then that makes even less sense. So as long as everything sort of comes in behind as it's supposed to, then I think so, yeah. I mean, the North has a little bit of
work to do. Yeah. Particularly the NTFA. Yeah. I think the NWFL have got it about right.
The NTFA in particular,
yeah. Out it comes here. That is Blake Harper from the back pocket. It's a good kick to advantage. Gapin ran under the footy and got Barwick pushed underneath it and worked it to his advantage. Handball comes into the middle. Who's that? That might be Dan Cooney. It was. Got it off to Glover. Gives it back to Gapin. Gapin's kick just into nothingness, really. Meredith worked it out to Whitford. Whitford's worked his way into this game. His kick goes out wide to Dylan, the ruckman. He's got a man short. He goes in that direction. Hits up Jenkins. Jenkins looks up. He's got Alomes on a long lead. Heads in that direction. Now there's not a lot to kick to. He's got to wait for a few to get back. Because Alomes is in this position, he's going to go to Baker Smith, I would have thought, or the leader in beams, and that's a strong mark to Richmond. Maybe he was touched off the boot, Rowie, as the ball just sticks in. We'll see another ball up. I think it'll work out in the NTFA, by the way. I think that is going to be okay.
It will take time and maybe a little bit of time, I think, because the gap at the moment is pretty large. Thompson runs out of tarmac, and I think
to be fair, the gap was pretty large between TSL clubs.
That's
North
right.
Launceston are an absolute powerhouse.
Well, North Launceston used to come down to North Hobart Oval and
bully anyone,
smash the Demons by 100 points every time. In it comes. Some holding going on. Which way will this go?
Clarence.
This will go the Clarence way. So a chance to make something happen out of the defensive 50. Kick was a shocker. Under the pump now.
The handball wasn't great either.
Yeah, Roberts applied the tackle and they force another stoppage here to the Pies. Holding the ball. No, they'll get a free kick. So
dragged it in.
That is the power of persistence. Isaac Manson wins himself a free on the tight angle, and if there's any chance whatsoever for Glenorchy, goals and attempts like this need to be converted.
A lot of goals have been kicked to this western end.
True.
To the right-hand side of the screen, though.
Here's Manson. He's going to have a crack at things by the look of it. He's on a reasonably tight angle. He'll kick from probably 40. And he comes.
Beautiful kick.
Sets it on its way.
Wow.
It's absolutely gun barrel off the boot of Isaac Manson. The umpire just stood nice and tall, craned the neck, and watched it sail over his head.
Well, his cousin Marilyn Manson sings the song Beautiful People. That was a beautiful kick.
Let's not talk about his other cousin, Charlie.
Oh, no. I was leaning that direction initially. I thought better of it, Rowie. Obviously, You've put no thought into that whatsoever.
Beautiful kick from Isaac Manson, and he just gives the Pies the slightest little bit of hope. 11-11-77. Glenorchy 7-6-48 deep into the third term.
Richmond and Dylan do battle. Richmond wins it down again. Paprotny, rather Harper, it is there, gets smashed in the tackle. Maybe a little high. Yes, it will be too high against Finlay. He gives off a handball. Running man is Hanslow. Hanslow's kick is a real sort of floater. It'll favour Gapin, who leapt at the foot. He got pushed underneath it. Numbers here again. Glover got held off the ball. Gapin got it out to Bush. Bush's handball will work okay to Glover. Glover gives it off, and they're out here now through Gapin. Max Gapin's kick goes to a 2-on-1, and there goes the siren, saving Glenorchy somewhat. It is three-quarter time here at KG5. Glenorchy 7-6-48. Trail Clarence 11-11-77. Goal kickers for the Roos. Let's go through those. 5 to Josh Green, 2 to Colin Garland in that term, and then singles to James Glover, Oscar Paprotny, Ben Richmond, and Ollie Hill. For the Magpies, 2 to Ben Barwick, and then singles to Adam Roberts, Baker Smith, Isaac Mason, Bryce Alomes, and Jake Beams on debut for the seniors. We'll take a quick break here at KG5. It is Clarence leading by 35 points. With 1 quarter to go, it is Hobart Airport SFL. Round 5 action in the Banjo's Bakery Premier League at KG5. It's the Roos by 35 points.
So out of the middle, Clarence with the early going. Paprotny been one of the best for the afternoon. Garland had his jumper pulled, but he took the mark anyway a few times over the journey. Plays on by hand. It was Harper who had the flying shot on goal. This might be all the way to the line. It's a minor score, but
Back and finds Meredith. Meredith's kick is horrible. Hits up Glover. Look at the kids behind the goals too, just trying to put him off, and it's worked. It's worked beautifully. Glover hits up a behind. Back is his direct opponent who dropped what he should have taken. Glover bends one around the corner, and Nice Fierce punches one across the line for another behind.
Yeah, Peppering. Again and again, really interesting kick there.
I think what's happening here is they're trying
It comes off. Nicholson now, he's got 2 inside 50, a 2-on-2. Alomes is there, Beams at the fall, just had it ripped out of his grasp. Coming through was Thompson, and he's got Roberts all alone in the square, and Glenorchy draw first.
They thought it was a free kick. Umpire said play on. Ball box out the back to Paprotny. Paprotny's handball goes over the top. Bush, I think it's Bush over there. Got a kick to the footy somehow. Now a chance, but couldn't have been Bush, because here's Bush now. Goes towards goal with a beauty. There's bushes popping up everywhere on there. There's young Gapin. And actually, it's Ollie Hill who throws it on the boot. And here is Gapin taking the mark, going back with sends the ball along to a lead. Big fly from Green. Rolling out the back is Gapin. How did he get all the way down there? He's going to get it back, Josh Green, and he's going to kick his fourth. Little masterclass from Josh Green.
Spell. Fight for it. Gapin was taken maybe in a high tackle. I said no, it was all fair.
The footy and just shoots it back to where it came. Big fly, big pack. Umpire's pulled out a free kick. Which way is this going? There'll be a free kick going. That's a lovely kick. I'll tell you what's working though.
There is that little bit of breeze that he's pushing that way. Still in with the hunt. Kick on goal here, all the way to the teeth. Touched on the line.
That was Josh Whitford. There he goes. Sends a long ball. And that's a strong grab to Colin Garland. There he goes. Sends a long ball. And that's a strong grab to Colin Garland. He plays on quickly, sends one home too. Cole's got one. Another one, rather. 2 in the
50. Off the hands of Alomes. Beams at the back. Dodges, weaves, hits up a target. Wonderful work from the young man. Bailey Jenkins. Looked okay off the boot. He struck it pretty well, but he just missed to the right-hand side.
This is Tommy Gapin.
Just improves the angle slightly. Just did not get it whatsoever. Still dangerous at the top of the square.
Oh, he's a freak.
Josh Green, absolutely vintage. That's the big one. If You go back to regionals without a Devils, it doesn't make a great deal of sense. And if you go to a Devils VFL, and he comes.
Beautiful kick.
Sets it on
Wow.
its way.
Wow.
It is absolutely gun barrel off the boot.
Welcome back to KG5. It's Clarence by 35 points. No, 33. I don't know. Rowie, how many points is that?
29.
Thank you. 29 points here at KG5.
Close.
And, yeah, look, I'm out the mark. I forgot that they kicked that goal. 7-6, 48 to 11-11, 77. A 29-point margin. So a 13-point increase in their lead for Clarence here in that third term.
Yeah, Glenorchy have hung around, but Clarence have certainly been the better team all day. But who can draw first blood here? Pies will send it forward first. Only by hand, though. They're at right half forward. That was a nice little looping handball over the top. Didn't quite get it to Hilda, who was the intended target, but probably take a stoppage.
What you can see, Rowie, is that Glenorchy are on the right track here as far as rebuilding their football club. Let's not forget, I think it was 2 years ago, they had 15 people at training.
Yeah, I remember covering that for ABC News, and they looked in really ill health, and they were getting thumped by 150 every week. And yeah, it's good to see a strong Glenorchy footy club. Good, strong tackle, by the way. I love a good, strong Glenorchy and a good, strong Clarence and North Hobart and all those old traditional clubs. They should be big and strong and the teams to beat in Tassie footy. Such great histories. This is the club of Peter Hudson Tubes.
Well, a few claiming.
That's true. You Norfolk would probably have something to say about
Hawthorn
that.
too. Yeah. Hawthorn might have something to say about that. That's a good kick.
Good mark by Wiley. That is a good kick and a good mark in the middle of the ground. Away they go here, the Pies. High ball towards a Loams. Floating in from the side. Cooney couldn't bring it down. Johnston gathered it on the bounce. Now used it by hand to Turner. Twisted and turned. His kicking board was pretty scrappy. Going to put his teammate under the pump. They'll be good enough to work it out here. Here's Jackman and McGuinness who gets it onto his left boot. Hanslow in an absolute hectare of space. Marks on his chest. He's got Proprotny in the sidecar. Uses him by hand, takes a bounce, and now Harper over the top. Runs to 50. They've gone coast to coast here, have Clarence. That is champagne football from the Roos.
Absolutely beautiful, Rowan. You called it magnificently. The chase from Gulliver was good, but he stopped and gave an opportunity for Harper to just continue on. And Proprotny was good. Harper was brilliant. The finish was sensational, and the margin is now 35 points, like I said, at three-quarter time.
He got there in the end. Gee, they just turned defence into attack. in
Like
amazing fashion. Quick as a flash.
Like you said, Rowie, he had an absolute paddock out here. Back in the middle. Margin 35. Dillon up against Mapley. They've battled all day beautifully. Gulliver got a little bend kick out to space. Chasing it down is Roberts. Tapped it on cleverly. It sat for him nicely. He manages to wheel around onto the right boot, sending it into the pocket. But this will be wrapped up as easy as you like by McGann. Again, from the back pocket. Sends a massive roost out looking for Mapley. He took the mark. Strong hands.
Yeah, good mark.
Overhand ball off to the runner. And now a chance for Popropny. Gives it off to Hanslow. Hanslow's kick inside forward 50. Looking towards Green, who put his hands up for a hold. There wasn't a lot there that Jack Miles could do. He was desperate to just hold him in.
That's the problem with Green, isn't it? Once he's sort of got that tiny little bit of spot separation, you end up holding him and pushing him and doing everything you can to stop him. He gets a lot of free kicks, but it's all through craft.
A little bit of breeze to contend with here for Josh Green. Wants to tell everyone he's got a six-pack. He sends the ball long and high. The breeze working it nicely. It's just across the line for a behind.
He almost had a six-pack of goals.
Well, that's what I was talking about,
Yeah,
Rowan.
no, okay.
Nothing to do with the old washboard abs.
Out of fullback come the Pies. A little bit of hesitation and confusion, but they'll work things out okay here. Neat sort of a ball. Gulliver just knocked it down to his own advantage and shrugged the tackle and burned off another. Release the hands and work it off half back. Nice sort of a ball into the middle. The intention was correct. The execution not so. It allowed Norton in. He's pretty clever. We've taken off the ball, and that was as blatant a free kick as we've seen all day.
And again, probably unnecessary. He had a friend arriving in just a moment and then dragged him off the footy. I think it was nice work by Baxter to get the free kick in the end.
High ball there. Green stayed down at the back. He just talks to the footy, doesn't he? He's the footy whisperer. He just knows where it's going to be, where it's going to go, where to be. Couldn't quite get hold of it on that occasion, but he was in the right place. Ball in.
Wrong whisper.
Attack.
Wrong whisper.
Whispered into the wrong ear. And it comes and contest the ruck. Harper come flashing through, gain possession, but he's all wrapped up, ridden into the turf. Another stoppage.
Harper's got a little headband for himself there, so Richmond wins it down to Harper. Harper throws it on the boot. Is that advantage paid? No, a free kick against. It was off the ball to Glover. Against Glover, rather. So no score here. It'll be a free kick going to the Magpies. I think it'll be Jade Clark, to take the footy. It is. So Clark gets called to play on. Long kick out wide, looking for Roberts. A couple of the little fleet foot type operators out there. Wiley sends a burner long. Gaping. It might be. It isn't. It's Harper. So apologies to Harper. As we see the rucks arrive late. Lumbering in. Mapley on it down. Finley got it back to Jenkins. Jenkins' handball. Finds his mate Thompson. Thompson sends one out wide, and it's a mark taken by Turner. Gives it off to Harper. Back to Turner. Turner's kick a little too heavy and is out on the full. Free kick going to Jenkins.
Been a pretty good contest, all things considered today. Clarence have certainly been the better team. But Glenorchy have produced a couple of moments. They did lose their playing coach really early in the piece too. A big gash above his right eye. Josh Arnold.
That's a big out.
Oh, huge out.
Not just for the player that he is, but also for the leadership he gives on field.
Yeah, one of the better players in the comp when he's up and going. It's a little bit dicey with a short ball. He's just trying to work this out of defence here. Oh, good tackle. It's holding the ball every day of the week.
It's my man Glenn.
The 1985 curly mullet.
And the thigh grippers. I like those too.
Gee, I reckon some of the boys in the function room will be all about that hairdo up top. Now they're out the back here, Glenorchy. Nicholson over the top. Man on the outside. Roberts' short ball is good to Alomes. Marks on his chest. Maybe a smidgen too far out to score. He wants to pass it off. He's going to send it deep. And getting in front with his name all over it.
It was Harper.
It was Harper. They get things moving immediately. McGann into the middle. Knocked away from Harper by Manson, who just went sliding in. He's going to be pinged here holding the ball, Willie. That's the thing. He went
slipped
in after it, got there first, but then held it in with no genuine attempt and was immediately wrapped up. Free kick, Clarence.
So the Roos, through Fraser Turner, have the ball. He goes laterally. Finds Talbot. His kick is a beauty. Finds Bush. Bush goes out wide. His kick is no good. Wiley now with a chance. He looks towards Baker Smith. He's got a hold of it. And 50 metres too. I'll tell you what, Baker Smith was wheeling around there. Ben McGuinness had every right to just continue on. But Baker Smith now gets taken directly in front of goal for a chance to pick it back.
Probably been their best this afternoon, Baker Smith, certainly in their top three.
Yeah, I think Wiley off half-backs had plenty of the footy too. They've had some contributors, no doubt, but they've just, unfortunately, they're in and out of the game.
Had some, an even spread, but no massive standouts.
For his second goal, Baker Smith, the recipient of a touchy 50, sneaks it home. Their first goal of the term, Rowie.
Yep. Yeah, so a couple of majors to him. He sort of led up and presented really well all day. It's tough in a team that has been fairly well beaten throughout the afternoon. And to get a couple of goals is a pretty good contribution. Back to 31.
I think the reality is Glenorchy will be pretty happy with the way they've played. I know that they're probably going to get beaten here, Rowie, unless something extraordinary happens in the next 15 to 20 minutes. But they'll be happy with their ability to compete with a clearly top two side in the Southern Footy League.
Yeah, I think so. Paprotny out of the middle, slaps it onto the boot. We're at centre half forward now for the Roos. Flashing through is Wiley, all wrapped up by Gape and brought to ground immediately.
What's happening at the AFL, Rowie?
Hawthorn leading Melbourne 10-10-70 to 7-14-56. Close one to the MCG.
Dillon got it away, only as far as Paprotny. Paprotny put Fraser Turner under immense pressure. Cooney trying hard. Gulliver goes in, gets tackled, and we'll see another ball up at right half forward for the Roos.
Pretty young team too, Glenorchy, has to be said.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. They'll be pretty happy with the ability to compete here. Turner gave it back to Paprotny. Paprotny slipped on a pair of roller skates. I thought the rink was shut down out here. And it's a free kick going the way of the Magpies.
There's another Northern Suburbs mainstay. On ice rink over the back fence, just up the road.
Gulliver. His kick just goes to no one. A handball over the head from Nicholson. Missed the mark, and we'll see a boundary throw in. They're getting another one, are they, Rowie? You
don't think.
What's your exclusives there?
No, I think they were looking at putting one at Goodwood at one stage.
Really?
But, they needed some.
Where?
They needed some cash.
Big money
for the ice rink. I think there are a couple of options for a small one, a medium one, and a big one. They needed some
capital,
external coin. Government has a few other things to pay for at the moment. Tubes.
Yeah, they do. They got a berth for a boat.
It's going to cost a few dollars. A few other bits and bobs.
Stadium.
Boundary throw in front of the scoreboard. Right half forward. Marks go at it as they have done all afternoon. Harper might have got a toe to it. No, he didn't. Holding the ball. Advantage paid. Glenorchy. And they go off half back. Little dash from Hilda. And a nice ball too to Smith. Couldn't quite reel it in. On the outside, there's Hill and now Wiley, who takes the defensive mark. Across the ground he goes.
He's got nothing to kick to here, though.
And they tried to get it moving fast, but the rest of the field didn't really move with them. I'm going to go to Wiley, thought about coming back the other way. And poker pass over the top to Thompson. Another player I quite like. Hasn't been hugely prominent today, Callum Thompson, but on his day can rack up the footy. Just sort of ambles for 5 or 10 metres, kicks to a 3-on-1, and the one prevailed Alomes. Good sticky mitts, runs to 50. Top of the square now. Too big, too strong, too prominent. It was Ben McGuinness getting back, taking the intercepts.
They're out again here, the Roos. Bush got himself into a little bit of trouble, and it was a throw. Nice tackle from Glenn. Straight from 1976. He gets the ball out wide. Finds a man in Roberts. Roberts looks up. He can run into an open goal. There's men everywhere in the square. Who's at home? Baker Smith, goal. And he sent that one actually to Northgate. He's kicked it over the roof. They've got 2. Margin back to 25.
Yeah, they've started each quarter slowly, Glenorchy, and Clarence have got the jump on them every quarter. Done all the attacking, kicked a couple of goals, and they've had to sort of fight back, but they've kept themselves in it. 25 points, it's far from a disgrace, and kept in touch nicely against a team that, as you said a little earlier, sitting 3-1, second on the table, a flag fancy. Not to say that Glenorchy isn't, by the way. I think they've just had a bit of a slow start. They're missing some soldiers. I think they'll maybe improve as the year goes on. They've been okay here. Tell you what, when you turn the lights on here, it's getting pretty dark.
Oh, gee. Come
KG5.
Come on, Charlie.
Barely see. Maybe it's just me.
Mate, more carrots.
But Brotney, beautiful piece of roving. Inside 50. McNamara, read it best. Threw it on the boot. Outside of the right. Bounces out towards the outer side. Whitford has to wait for it. Takes on a couple of tacklers. His handball straight up in the air. Hacked out of the congestion. High ball. That'll work out very nicely for Glover. Gets underneath and takes an easy, uncontested mark. Drives the Roos inside. Goal in the target. On the stretch.
Well, when you got a bloke like him that can just do exactly that, taking contested mark, that was a horrible kick inside forward 50 from Glover. And Garland made it look brilliant.
No, he's got buckets for hands, Colin Garland. He'll go back and likely kick a third. No mistake whatsoever from the former Melbourne Demon, who slams it through. So 3 for him upon return to the Clarence Roos. He's had it's probably the quietest 3-goal game.
Yeah, what's his
you can
first
really
game back?
Think of.
I think he had last year off, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for Wynyard last year. Played some footy at Wynyard. He's played in the old Scholars before that. He played at Clarence, obviously, a couple of years ago. He won a Hudson medal not too long ago. Did Colin Garland. So he knows where they are. The games he played for North Hobart before being drafted. He kicked about 25 goals in 3 weeks. And recruiters said, yeah, we'll have you, please.
All right.
And then off he went.
You've done enough, son. Now the hard work starts. Richmond won it down, but Protney tried hard. Little handball again. It's an interesting work. Rush kick inside forward 50. Glover's come into this game in the last half, that's for sure. Nice tackle laid, though, by Clark. It'll be a free kick going the way of the Magpies. So Clark has the footy in his mitts. He's got a short one he decides to ignore. Baker Smith will be the target, along with Barwick. Glenn got it forward. Thompson gave a handball off to Barwick. Barwick gave it to Hilda. Back to Barwick. Barwick just left the footy behind. Scooping handball up from Johnston. Gets in the arms of Baxter Norton. His kick goes looking for Cooney. Cooney and Glenn doing battle. Glenn does really well. In fact, he does fantastically well. He keeps running. He left the footy behind, though. He had a man with him. And we'll see a ball up. Baker Smith ends up with the footy.
Ben Barwick streaming through the middle there. Little handball received. He had it. The world was his oyster if he could have gathered clean control of that footy. And he's so fast. I was up out of my chair for a moment there. Wasn't to be. But we soldier on. Here's Baker Smith. He just runs straight into Jackman. Put the arm out. And Jackman was not having anything of it. And he just lets him know about it too. And Baker Smith will rue the day that he took on Aiden Jackman.
That handball was never on. He had players all around him, Baker Smith.
Well, Baker Smith, it was like he eyeballed him. And
that's 50.
He deliberately went at him. And he said, I'm not going to go around you. I'm going to go through you. But Aiden Jackman said, no, you're not, young man. And it was a great tackle, holding the ball free kick. It was Ollie Hill. It's a half forward, just over the outstretched arms of Cooney, but into the lap of Glover. Deep into this fourth and final term. 31 points the margin. Glover thinking long and hard about a shot on goal. He'll kick from right on the paint of 50, I think, if he elects to sink the shoe in. And he does.
That's a better kick.
Sends it on its way. It's pretty good, but it's not quite good enough. A minor score.
1 goal for Glover. So Wiley to bring the ball back in. Short kick. Finds a teammate. They haven't got a lot here. So he goes short to my man Glenn. Glenn's kick is good to Nicholson. Nicholson got himself into trouble and overshot the handball. Then went back and got it and got speared. Now Wiley to a 2-on-1. Chance out the back now for Whitford. He looks up. He's got a short kick onto Alomes. Just went to his toes though. Handball came over the top. Alomes. Might be a free kick here going to Zach Rogers. It is. Is that Zach Rogers? I think it is, the emergency. So I'm not sure who came out of the side. Anyway, the kick goes short to Beams. Beams looks a little proppy here. So Jake Beams. I believe he was actually born when I was playing football at the University Football Club when his dad, Ben Beams, was coaching. So that's made me feel old. In he comes for his second goal in his debut game for the seniors at Glenorchy. They love it. He looks a bit sore and maybe a little bit of cramp for Jakey Beams, but he's got 2 on debut. As Rowie said earlier, one to keep an eye on in the future.
Yeah, how good. This next wave, Sons of Guns coming through from the era that you and I grew up in, Tubes, the 1990s and the 2000s. And the likes of Beams and Cooney and Gapin. McCullum, who's not out there today for Clarence. All doing their thing back in the 90s, winning flags.
For fun, those blokes.
Especially that Clarence team. They were ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's like New Norfolk. I was up at New Norfolk last week for the Community League Rowie. Those blokes, some of those blokes played in 7 premierships, 9 grand finals.
Yeah, Matty Smith, one of those, of course.
Roger Belcher.
Yep. Brock Ackley.
Brock Ackley talked to me too. What? And they were having a good time. They had their 2005 premiership reunion up there, Rowie, and it was loose.
What scenes. Here's the ruckman Dylan. Inside 50. Good juggling, Mark Smith. He's been a shining light all afternoon for Glenorchy. I'll tell you what, this can bring it back to 20 points.
There's plenty of time too, Rowie.
Get another quick one out of the middle.
And let's not forget, they've done it with a man down on the bench too.
Provided he puts this through, of course, Baker Smith.
They've done this game with the majority of the game with no coach, Josh Arnold.
I think he's got it. I think Baker Smith has a 4th.
Well, 3 in a turn for Baker Smith.
Tell you what.
A handy return. If I wasn't thinking of for best on for Glenorchy, he's in the conversation now.
With 5 or 6 minutes still left in this game, 20 points the margin. Stranger things have happened. Next centre break, very, very interesting indeed. So Baker Smith, forward to his name, Tubes Taylor. Take us away.
Back in the middle, Dillon up against Mapley. Mapley wins it down, a little bit too much on it, but it ends up in the arms of Harper. Harper goes high, sending the ball long. Coming to meet the footy was Green. Nicely done by Males to defend. Punched it towards the boundary. Now it is across the line for a boundary throw-in. This is the sort of spot where someone like Josh Green just steps up and says, I can't have this anymore. We're getting a little bit beaten here. I need to step up and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Richmond got to the front. Working around is Norton. Shrugs through 1, 2, 3 tackles. Got it off to Harper. Harper scoops up one to Jackman. Jackman sends the ball towards goal and misses. Everything. Out on the full.
So the margin remains a clean 20 points. They've been pretty inaccurate, it has to be said, though. Clarence so far this afternoon. Far more opportunities at 13-14.
Should have kicked it to Glenn.
Glenorchy 11-6. Loam's on a long lead. Can't reel it in. So right in front of the scoreboard. Time becoming a factor now for Glenorchy. They need 4 quick ones. 4 really quick ones.
This will be a great game for the Glenorchy to review because they've had opportunities, Rowie. They've just misused the footy somewhat.
And it comes. Richmond to the front. Paprotny has probably been best on ground for mine. Just about. Certainly started.
Josh Green doesn't get a look in because he's 5 goals. You know, you're a midfielder, man, aren't you, Rowie?
He's been pretty good.
He's been pretty good. Oh, look, no doubt Paprotny's been excellent. Harper's been good.
Sometimes we get it wrong, Tubes.
Never admit it. Right on cue, Paprotny.
To Green.
Well, they don't make it. Oh, look at this.
Around the corner he goes. There's a whistle. He's going to have to take his kick, or retake his kick, I think, for some reason.
They'll be disappointed with that. I've got no idea what's going on.
The umpire is pointing to the spot saying, you got to come back and take your kick. Green, who played on and kicked around the body, it looked like a goal as well. He's going to have to retake it. They're just deliberating. Well, maybe it's a throw-in. He didn't mark it inside the line.
No, okay. I think he did mark it inside the line. He touched off the boot.
Oh, okay.
Touched off the boot, and then he played on when he was outside of the line, Rowie.
Roger that. Okay.
I'm making excuses here because I don't have any idea what's going on.
That sounds about right. It's tucked deep in, as far away from our commentary position as you can get. Mapley to the front. Green on the scene. Won't bring it under his control. Another ball in.
Little reset here. It is a long way away from where we're standing. There's also a pole in my way. So the ball in will come in again. Almost a reset of the previous play. The throw-in is a little bit better. One down by Dillon. Males overran the footy. Cooney from the pocket. Can't get it. Dillon. He's caught holding the footy as Cooney. So it'll be a free kick going the way of the Magpies. I think it might be McNamara down there. Pole's in my way. It is. Long kick. Big fly from A-Loams. Came over the back. Couldn't quite get it. Richmond. Scooped a little handball out towards Baxter Norton. Goes back to Turner. Turner selling a little bit of candy. Nicely done by Roberts to rush the ball across the line for another boundary throw-in.
Deep into this fourth and final term. Probably out of the question now for Glenorchy. Out of the stoppage. Handball was broken up. Good tackle laid. Upper might have threw it. Umpire said no. Tried to get it to Turner. Wiley hands and knees. Roberts continues to work hard. Gathered the footy. Took on 1 and 2 tacklers, but eventually run out of road. from the stoppage. McNamara brushes one. Outside of the right boot. Tumbles it towards the outer wing. It's slowing down now. In the death throes we are, Tubes.
Well, they'll be happy with this, Glenorchy. They've won the quarter. And they've been a man down. I'm not making excuses for Glenorchy because they've been outplayed, but they've played well. They've stayed in touch in the whole game. Like you said, Roe, they've been clawing on. And I think Jackman moving the ball forward now. I think Coach Grant Fagan will be a little disappointed with how close this game has ended up. Out it comes from Meredith. He goes back to Wiley. Wiley looks up. He's got a man out wide in Whitford. Whitford's got a long lead from a couple of players, but there goes the siren. It's a 20-point win to the Clarence Football Club. They defeat Glenorchy 13-14-92 to 11-6-72. Goal scorers for the Roos. Well, it was a 5-pack to Josh Green, 3 to Colin Garland, and then singles to James Glover, who nearly kicked 2, given how many points he kicked. Jared Harper had 1. Oscar Paprotny had 1. Ben Richmond with 1, and Ollie Hill for the Magpies. 4 to Baker Smith, including 3 in that term that we've just watched. 2 to Jake Beams, 2 to Ben Barwick. A couple of young guns for the Magpies doing really well. Adam Roberts, Isaac Manson, and Bryce Aloms with 1 apiece. A 20-point margin here at KG5, Rowie. Break down the best players for us.
Yeah, best players. You're right. I think Josh Green, best on ground today. The 5-goal haul was in and around the mark when the heat was on early, and just showed his class and his guile around goals to kick a 5-pack. And given the margin, 20 points was probably the difference between the two teams today. And that's that's not saying anything to the players that were playing on him today. He was just too good for the Glenorchy defence. So 5 goals to him, gets him 3 votes. I think Paprotny, for me, was second best on ground, especially his first half. Maybe just faded in the second half, but he really set them up in that early part of the game. So 2 votes to him, and Baker Smith with a vote for Glenorchy as their best player. 4 goals. Kept them in it, I thought, late with a couple of really valuable goals, and they had a good even spread of contributors today, and I thought that Baker Smith deserved a vote given the margin was only 20 points and he kicked the 4 snags.
Clarence have come to KG5 and got the job done in round 5 of the Hobart Airport SFL. The Magpies, a bit of work to do, but some building blocks for sure, Rowie. I think their future looks really bright. They've blooded a few beauties this year in Ben Barwick, Jake Beams. Max Gulliver will grow and continue to grow, but if they can keep their group together, get some players back from injury, they're going to be all right later in the season.
Yeah, I know. I think so too. Harrison Gunther was a big out for them this afternoon. He's one of their very best players and a key post down back, of course, state player and one of the best players in the state. So he was a massive out, and of course losing Josh Arnold really early. He's their general in defence as well. So they were undermanned, but they kept Clarence to how many goals they kicked? 13. So not a bad effort from the Glenorchy defence. And the highlight, from a Glenorchy perspective, was the debut of Jake Beams. You know, the son of a gun, Ben Beams, 15 years old, kicked a couple of goals, had a couple more looks, and he was. He was sort of pushed off the ball a little bit early and, took a little bit to find his feet. But once he worked into the rhythm of the game, he did some really nice things. And, as things progress in this state from a footballing perspective, he's absolutely going to be one to watch in the next few years. I
really love this from the leaders of the Glenorchy Football Club right now. There's no coaches out there in the middle. They've got together as a group. They've collected each other. And Isaac Manson is in there, just having a talk to his charges before they go off and talk to the coaches. Their future is bright here at the Glenorchy Football Club. They've certainly got things organised off-field with what's happening upstairs, but they unfortunately lose today to a much better side in the end. 20 points the margin in the end here for the Hobart Airport SFL. Chris Rowbottom, always good to chat to you.
Thank you, Tubes.
And we are sticking around for a Hobart Airport SFL women's match momentarily. So we'll take a quick break here from KG5. My name's Tubes Taylor. A pleasure to have your company from wherever you're watching. Until next time, we'll see you at the footy. Bye for now.